Welcome to another episode of Go Ape Podcast. I'm Jon Randall. With me as always,
Brandon Geringer.
Let's make this real fast episode because you did me in tonight.
What are you talking about?
What you did tonight was unforgivable.
Oh?
Unforgivable.
Unforgettable.
No, not forgettable. Forgivable.
Oh.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
No, you'll never forget this.
No, I will not. We'll get to this in a little bit.
Well, what's going on with you?
Not a lot. How was your week?
It was okay.
Mm-hmm. Anything interesting happen?
No.
Okay. I had a friend of mine return from Africa yesterday.
Ooh.
She was regaling my newsroom with tales of her time in the Dark Continent.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes back tomorrow. Back to Africa tomorrow.
Well, she's not there long, is she?
Nope, not here in town long. She was here for a wedding today, pretty much.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it was good to see her. That was cool.
Good.
We went out last night. Me and her and another buddy of mine from work. We all went out. Had a couple beers and
Brewskis.
Chatted it up.
Briskies.
Yeah. So what else we got? Last week, my Dolphins were victorious against the inferior Washington Redskins.
Now, how inferior were they?
The Dolphins barely won.
Yeah.
Barely won.
Shit teams.
Yeah. How'd your team do last week?
They lost against the Panthers.
Okay.
They missed a couple field goals.
Okay. Like 4, right?
Yeah. And, of course, much like we saw...
Is that kicker still employed?
I don't know.
Probably not.
The defense of Panthers is what won the game for them, as, again, the offense is not very good.
Did you see that epic fumble in the Dolphins game?
No.
There was a fumble, okay?
Okay.
The ball went... this is not an exaggeration. 40 yards. They lost 40 yards on the fumble.
It.
Yeah, because one guy hit it and then it popped up in the air.
Yeah.
And then it went down the field. And then more and more of that.
That never happens in video games. You ever notice that? That never happens in where it does it a whole bunch like that.
I've never seen that.
I've seen it maybe a couple times. That's about it.
Our sound quality is going to be a little bit high here off the top. I just noticed that.
Why is that?
Apologies to our listeners. It's now been corrected.
Oh,
we're only 2 minutes in, but
technical difficulties.
First couple minutes, a little bit loud.
Go Ape Podcast, a little loud.
Yeah. So yeah, they have like a negative 40-yard fumble in the game that the Redskins got.
And guess who your Dolphins are going against this weekend?
Jags.
Yep, it's a tete-to-tete with me and you.
Yep.
Let the best team win. I think it's going to be my Jaguars.
I don't think that at all.
Did you see their half and half colored helmets?
Well, they've had those for a while.
They're terrible.
Yeah, they're real bad helmets. And did you notice their matte finish?
Yeah.
They're not like glossy.
Yeah, it's
there's no shine to them. It's a matte finish. Like, who does that with helmets?
They were terrible.
Speaking of terrible, did you see the horrible 49ers uniforms for Monday nights? Their alternate uniforms are like solid black with like a couple of red stripes and like red numbers. They look real bad.
No thanks.
I don't like their uniforms.
I don't like almost any throwback jersey stuff whatsoever.
Still not as bad as Pittsburgh's. Pittsburgh's, they look like bumblebees.
Yeah, they look like bumblebees. I don't like any throwback jerseys.
Yeah. I'm progressing in Madden still. The game has sucked me in.
That's good.
I don't even play my franchise. All I do is that Ultimate Team thing with the cards and stuff like that.
That's where it's at.
It's like...
That's all I did with the FIFA.
It's like, why even have the normal mode of the game in anymore? It's like that's become less popular to people.
Yeah. It's very fun. The Ultimate stuff is very fun.
But yeah, I'm enjoying that, making my own team. So,
okay,
and constantly, tweaking it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, you like tweaking stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Now, we got to speak about one of our old episodes.
Okay.
We have a flashback.
Do tell.
Go back to Street Fighter.
Okay, well.
Remember Street Fighter? Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I could never forget it.
Kylie Minogue is Cammy.
Raul Julia.
Okay, now I have listened to that episode of our podcast. It's called Go Ape Podcast.
Yeah.
The episode in which we spotlighted Street Fighter.
Yes.
Now, about halfway through that episode, I realized something about that movie that we didn't even really say. Like, it didn't come to me after, us watching it, but listening to our podcast, I realized that, like, if you think about it, there's, like, the whole beginning, all of it, all the way up until the attack on M. Bison's base, it has no relevance whatsoever in the movie. They do all of that for no reason. He goes through the whole charade of being shot and letting go Saget, who he had captured, right? Saget was captured.
Mm-hmm.
He let him go.
Okay.
Just so that M. Bison would think that he was dead. And at the end of the movie, all he did was storm his base. It played no part in any form or any reasoning in the movie. None of it does. Like, it's completely just a cut. And he did all that and he said, okay, look, we're going to have you guys go with M. Bison. Now, look, you're going to steal a gun. The gun will have fake bullets in it so that when you're shooting at me, I won't die from the bullets because you may shoot me. I'll do my little squibs on my body to act like I'm dead. They did all of that just so that M. Bison would believe that he was dead. And ultimately that played no point whatsoever in what they were doing.
I thought the whole reason they did that was so Ken and Ryu could get into Saget's group and then be or Sagat.
For what?
But then because Sagat was going to introduce them, I guess, by I don't know. The whole movie, the movie sucks anyways, man.
It doesn't do anything.
The movie's terrible.
What's so funny is he does such a drastic thing at the end of that movie where he's just like, I'm gonna go get in my boat and I'm gonna go kick M. Bison's ass.
I put it in the podcast.
That's great. I'm like, you would have done that no matter what transpired before, and he did it. And so, in essence, if you just start the movie right there, that's the plot that happens in the movie. Because whenever M. Bison sees that Guile's still alive, he's like, "Oh, I see you didn't die." That's it. That's all that was for.
I guess you didn't see that.
I guess not. He only has one eye. But yeah, I was watching that. I was listening to that. And I was like, "Holy shit, this is incredible! What even more terrible film to do all that."
Terrible film.
But speaking of, that's a movie from Hollywood. You got Hollywood Minute, right?
Yeah, I got a couple things for you.
Let's go.
Well, first, we'll roll it into the Hollywood Minute.
All right.
So this week, we are, by the way, Go Ape Podcast. In case you didn't know, our roots lie with Planet of the Apes.
Of course.
So they announced the villain in the new Planet of the Apes movie this week. Did you see that?
I think I heard something about that, but I forgot who the name of him.
Woody Harrelson.
That's right, Woody Harrelson. He's the villain in the movie?
That is correct.
He's just going to be like the guy.
He'll be playing a character called the Colonel. Yeah, that's his character name. They haven't said anything else about it, but that's all they've said. Of course, his resurgence in Hollywood is all to True Detective.
Thank God. It was a great show. First season was great.
So we got that. This week, what do you think of that casting? I like Woody Harrelson.
Oh, I don't mind Woody Harrelson at all. He's great. In True Detective, he was fantastic. And, I mean, it's obvious that he's going to be the colonel. He's going to be head of some sort of army that's going to fight the apes. Blah.
Yeah.
Not extremely exciting, but no, that's a good casting. I like Woody.
He'll do good. He'll do well.
Yeah, I'm certain.
I saw a report this week. The original Star Wars movie. Do you know how much screen time Darth Vader was in the original Star Wars movie? What would you guess? How much time is he actually on film?
7-8 minutes.
12.
Yeah, it's
12
right.
minutes.
Then I think about it, because you've got the beginning part, him talking to Leia. Mm-hmm. You don't see him for quite a long time. And then where do you see him again when he shows back up?
Probably in their boardroom.
Their
where
boardroom.
He chokes Marty.
And then you see him. Well, the interrogation of Leia.
Yeah, briefly, you see him stand there as the droid comes in.
And then the room, like you said, and then
Obi-Wan fight.
Well, before that, you're going to see them talking to Tarkin about destroying the planet.
Right.
Obi-Wan fight.
Yep.
Him in the cockpit.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. 12 minutes.
Not much.
I never really thought about it.
What a big presence.
I never really thought about that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either, but what a big presence for 12 minutes.
Yep. All right, they're rebooting A Christmas Carol.
Okay.
That's not a joke.
All right.
They're rebooting A Christmas Carol. Guess who's going to play Scrooge? Who's been tapped to play Scrooge?
Tapped?
Yeah.
Is this a serious person, or should I go silly?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. This film will be targeted to the African-American audience. So who's going to play Scrooge in this movie?
I don't know.
Ice Cube. What? I'm not making that up. Ice Cube will star as Scrooge in a reboot of Christmas Carol.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that, but there we go.
Well, I mean, there's not reboots. I mean, they do it time and time again, right? I mean, they've done it many, many times over the years, different people.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bryan Singer has announced his next project, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
And hopefully it's going to be more, what was that movie? Valkyrie. It'll be more Valkyrie than it will, his skill that he brought to that movie, Valkyrie.
Did he make Valkyrie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that movie's amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, very good.
Well, good for him. He finally made a good movie.
I'm excited about that, but, hopefully we'll see. I mean, he's not completely terrible.
There's a Taken prequel TV show and The Mist.
I did see The Mist.
TV show in the works.
I forgot to tell you about that, or say something to you about that. That is interesting. I do like the movie The Mist, except I don't like the way that it ends. But, I do think that movie's pretty cool. TV show would be neat, very neat.
I thought the ending was a good gut punch to you.
Well, I just don't think it has anything really to do with the movie. Like it's just a weird timing. The timing's way off. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. What's the odds of that?
All right.
But on The Mist is cool, but Taken, dumb.
All right.
Is she still Taken this week? Yep.
No, I think it's going to be more. Taken? I think it's going to be more when he was probably doing special forces stuff before he became before he retires, basically. All right, and then finally, this harkens back to also a very early episode, and the only episode of Go Ape Podcast in which we had monkey news.
That's right.
Do you remember what happened in that episode? Do you remember what the monkey news was?
Yeah, it was... No, I don't remember.
In Myrtle Beach, here in South Carolina, they took two chimpanzees to see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
That's right.
Startling discovery this week. Are you ready for this?
Here.
New research finds that apes can remember scenes from movies.
Well, good.
That is not the film to have taken them to.
No. That's true.
I'm just saying, if chimpanzees can remember scenes from movies, and we took them to see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, this is not good for us.
See a monkey writing down stuff.
You understand, Brandon?
Okay, yeah.
This is the beginning.
Yeah.
This is where it happened.
And I thought I saw something that said that some apes might be able to have some sort of form of speech or something.
I saw that as well.
Oh no, dude.
So
a lot of that stuff, I just think it's a lot of bullshit that comes out.
Well, there you go. That's this week's Hollywood Minute, and it's sporadic in Go Ape Podcast when it happens,
and it's not a minute, but it's
okay. But there was some good stuff this week.
It would take more of an effort on our part.
Yeah, and I'm not into efforts.
No, can't be doing that.
So what else we got?
I don't know. I don't think I've got anything else. I guess we're ready to hit this movie.
I am going to go ahead and apologize to our listeners.
How many times we got to apologize for stuff?
A lot of apologies. I'm not even kidding when I say this. I mean, I'm just.
Well, you had a technical difficulty while you were taking your notes. He lost like anywhere from 300 to 400 notes.
I'm not going to lie to you people. I probably took. I think there's like 30 sentences in my notes this week.
Wow.
So it's going to be really, the burden is on Brandon,
of course,
to carry this episode. But I mean, to be fair, he's the one who picked this travesty.
Yeah, and let me tell you a little backstory behind this.
Yeah, you do that.
Well, while
I just drink water and zone out.
Well, last week when we talked, we were watching the movie that we were watching. It was Masters of the Universe, and I talked about a movie that we should do next week. Thus being this week, today, right now. Go Ape Podcast, popular podcast, and so. We forgot what it was. I never remember it, apparently. So I was like, it was all the way up to today, where I was like, I don't know what to do. I thought about doing Darkman. Okay? And I don't want to do the other Darkmans, because Darkman didn't deserve one movie, let alone the 18 that it had.
I think 3.
I don't know what it is.
I think it's 3.
Darkman Die.
I just know one of them, it's called Die, Darkman Die. That's incredible for a sequel.
But, and so I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, okay, I want to do this movie, a certain movie, which I'm not going to say because we may still do it in the future if we can find it. And I was like, that's not on Netflix. And plus, I want to do something that I didn't, I was like, well, let's see if it's on Netflix or something easy for people to watch and for us to watch. And so I searched for this movie, and I said, oh boy, this one's going to be rough. Now, neither of us had seen this movie. So we both just got severe, severe punches to the balls when we watched this movie. So I didn't let Jonathan know what it was till we sat down, and he left the room. When he came back, I had it fired up, so he didn't know what it was until he saw the actor's name of Dana Carvey. And I believe I could see that little hamster in your head was really working overtime, and then you realized the Master of Disguise with Dana Carvey. And that's what this week's episode of Go Ape Podcast is all about. The Master of Disguise, starring Dana Carvey. It's a 2002 movie. It's an Australian, British, American comedy fantasy film. It's directed by Perry. That's already a mistake. Perry Andolin Blake. His directorial debut. And he does not even have a Wikipedia page. So that just shows you where this guy went. Yeah, this is an Adam Sandler Happy Madison production.
Let me stop you right there.
Of course.
I said this to Brandon while we were watching the film, and I stand by this. And this is probably the truest statement I will ever say in my life.
And probably evil, too.
I am prepared to say that the world would have been better off if Adam Sandler never existed.
Just erased. That's what Thanos needs to do with the gauntlet.
Yeah, erased from existence.
Yeah, Adam Sandler, you're God.
Yeah, infinite power of the universe. Yeah. And all you do is, I'm going to erase Adam Sandler from ever existing.
You got all the gems. You got all the infinite gems.
I mean, fuck Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And for anybody who says he's funny, fuck you. Because here's the thing.
He was funny.
Here's the thing. Yeah, he's had 2 good movies in his life.
Yeah.
It was Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison.
Yep.
And the dude has been riding the success of those movies.
Yep. And he's just been
ever since.
He's been shaved off every movie. A little bit of him he's like an onion, and the peels just come off, and there's nothing inside.
Yeah, and you're not finding anything better.
It's a little tiny skeleton baby. Like that's all that's left.
I hate him for what he has become, for what he has unleashed on this planet, through all his terrible films. Mm-hmm. Maybe next week I'll make you watch Jack and Jill.
Ooh.
I mean,
we need to do that one.
No, we do not.
That's a good idea. I'm keeping that.
Not.
I'm keeping that. If you don't do it, I'm going to pick it.
Unfortunately, it's now on this, so you can always go back and figure it out once you forget it.
Oh, yeah. We've got it now. It's Jack and Jill. We're going to do that at some point.
No,
Thank you for reminding me of that.
Man, but like, he's terrible. Yeah. He's just terrible. Everything he does is terrible, and this is a perfect example of it.
Well, the problem with him is he tried to transition over to family stuff. That's where he truly erred. That's where he saw the money being. Instead of keeping with, he called the shit poop. You know what I'm saying? That was funny in Billy Madison. So, yeah, he's terrible. The budget for this movie, $17 million.
Okay.
The box office for this movie, $44.4 million. Talk about real hook line. It came in third behind a movie called. It came in third behind Signs, a shitty film, and Austin Powers in Goldmember.
What a dark time for America.
Yeah, that was really 3 shit films that were all together.
What time of year did this come out?
This was in August 2002.
It was a dark, dark summer.
It only made $3 million internationally. This film, Master of Disguise. So let's cut right into it, eh?
I guess.
Can you start us off with notes, or?
Yeah, sure. Because now, in all honesty, I did have I was about 10 notes in when my phone. I guess I hit a button and it deleted my entire thing of notes.
Try to save you.
Brandon offered graciously to rewind the film. We could start over, but that was not going to happen. So my first note, I believe in both cases, was these sound stages are terrible.
The whole film is
the opening. The opening shot is just this horrible looking soundstage.
Yeah, terrible soundstage. It's like a mansion. It's 1979. It's in Italy. It's a terrible, terrible set that they're on, and the whole movie is in a back studio lot.
Yes,
the whole movie is filmed on the back studio,
absolutely.
Where the curb is about 13 inches off the concrete of the sidewalk's about 13 inches off the road. There's all these people walking backwards and forwards, cars just going back and forwards. But let's go ahead and get this out of the way. This is supposed to be a family film. This is supposed to be a family comedy. Okay, that's the angle it was going on. Now this is Dana Carvey, like Saturday Night Live. I always loved Dana Carvey. He was always fantastic. He had a lot of great characters, had a lot of great bits, and he could do voices and stuff like that. I enjoyed him. So he came out with this, and it was a real stinker. But this is supposed to be a family film. So, I'm trying to go into it in my head and think about other family films, all right? And, ones that were good. Like, is this difficult to do? A comedy family thing that's not dreadful, And, obviously, like, a movie like Home Alone is a family film, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And it's comedy, kind of, right?
I would say that's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a hell of a lot better than this.
Oh, of course. And so I'm like, this can be done. It doesn't have to be an animated film. And I'm just trying to think of live action films. And there's plenty of them that were probably family films that are fun to watch and stuff.
Nothing but trouble.
Oh. Nothing but crap.
Better than this movie.
Yeah, the credits, when it starts off, there's like a book, and it's got this flipping pages, and there's cartoons, and it's showing all the people that are in it, and of course you were kind of dazzled. And all throughout us watching this movie, I really relished the pain I saw Jonathan in. He was really squirming, heavy breathing, sighing, throwing himself, thrashing about the room. It was very humorous to me. I enjoy his pain. All right.
Let me also interrupt you and say this movie's 80 minutes long.
It's 80 minutes, and it felt like 2.5 hours. But yeah, it's 80 minutes long.
Yeah. We had a friend that said any movie that's not 90 minutes, that doesn't make the 90-minute mark, is just shit. Hands down. He said that, a friend of ours.
This is 10 minutes away.
Yeah, this is a whole 10 minutes away. And you got to understand, that included credits.
Yeah, which had a lot of shit in the credits.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Is this worse than Garbage Pail Kids, like bottom of the barrel? I'm almost going to have to say yeah.
I would say yeah, it kind of is worse than Garbage Pail Kids. Somehow, we keep finding worse films.
I thought we were at the bottom, but this is the worst. Jack and Jill's going to be pretty good when we do that next week.
We're not doing... No, it's my pick next week. We're not doing that. We may actually watch a good movie next week.
I thought about doing Flash Gordon.
I like that movie, but it does have problems.
It doesn't have to be a bad movie
anymore.
Dal. It doesn't have to be a bad movie.
In the movie. I actually thought about making you watch Seventh Son.
I think that's going to be a good movie. I've been wanting to see it.
Yeah. I liked it. I enjoyed the film.
It didn't do well, but I mean, I like fantasy, so I have no problem.
I enjoyed the film, so I thought about getting you to watch that.
I was
thinking about buying it on Vudu.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll watch that next week.
All right, sounds good. So, okay, we start off. Yeah, we start off. Okay, there's this mansion in Italy in 1979, and Brett Spiner. Data from Star Trek The Next Generation.
It's for you, Trey.
Yep. He plays a man by the name of Devlin.
I never wrote his name down, so I'll be
Bowman.
No help. I'll be no help.
Devlin Bowman. Okay.
I'll put horrible Brett Spiner.
Yeah, he's got some goons around him. It's at nighttime on this set, this Italian mansion, and a woman jumps off a balcony. It's Bo Derek. Yep. She's running. She's got her same
braids.
Her braids and her beads and stuff in her hair. She's in the same outfit. She's got her tank top on. She's got her short shorts.
From her famous poster. That's what Brandon's referring to.
Correct. And she's running away from him. And he's yelling at his guards. He's got like, I don't know. He almost looked to me like some sort of drug cartel guy or something. But this is Italy. So he's hauling at the goons as she's running away. And while this is going on, there's a voiceover of an older man talking about, "This is my grandson."
This is my son.
I thought he said grandson. Oh, son. You're
son.
Right. Son. This is my son, and it's showing Bo Derek. So, of course, you're going like, what? That doesn't make much sense. She proceeds to jump off the side of the fence.
And fly?
Yeah, and she flies. She flies with her dress. She, does it up, and she's able to glide. She doesn't really fly. I guess she glides down to an area where a car is awaiting her. She jumps in said car, and I tried to write James Brolin. It wrote James Broken. So James Brolin pulls off his mask. That is Bo Derek, and it's James Brolin.
Chloe.
Sorry. There's a random thing for you. Just a random name to keep up. That's your okay. So yeah.
I put their Italian accents are offensively bad.
Yeah, it's exactly what I talked about with Hudson Hawk. It's the whole, "Hey, you, what are you doing around here?"
Dude, there's nothing in Hudson Hawk like this.
Yeah, this is really bad.
I mean, not yet. Yeah. There's no accents in Hudson Hawk compared to this.
Hudson Hawk did good by making it be Italian instead of this, quasi, stuff. So, and it shows Devlin, he's being arrested by the police, and of course cussing out Bo Derek. He knows that it's James Brolin, and the car that picks him up, I believe his father's in there. This is the grandfather. This is the voice, that's the narrator. And it then talks about how this is in their family, and it shows a young child, a young baby being born, and it always copies what is done to it or whatever's around it. It's a baby that copies stuff, and so when the baby gets slapped on its bottom, it slaps the doctor. It's comedy. Are you all right?
No, because I'm sitting here listening to the detail of your notes, and I feel like I'm just reliving this movie all over.
It's going to be rough. Well, he as it shows him growing up in a small montage, he copies everybody. So that's what he does. His name is Pistachio.
Pistachio Disguisey.
Yeah, Pistachio Disguisey. It's weird that Disguisey and Disguise are very close together. So that's
strange.
It's coincidence. And it says that his true adventure was about to begin, this Pistachio Disguisey. And now you've got Dana Carvey. Once he's grown up, I've got written here, Dana Carvey is horrible in this film. He is terrible. His accent is horrific. It's an accent that's so put on. It's one that he would do for a small bit on Saturday Night Live, but not a whole fucking 80-minute long movie. And that's one of the big problems with it. It's to endure him talking is just a joke. And it's so forced of a weird voice and the way his mannerisms are that I'm like, this is just a character that just keeps on going and doing the same shit. So he meets a woman outside, and it's a young lady, and she says that he's not her type. She's got a boyfriend. Don't call her. We had some fun the other night. done. And I've got written here, super set. This is where you really see that it's just an unbelievable backlot.
It's just a backlot. Yeah,
Yep. There's a small boy there. He's trying to skateboard. And he tries to do some humor with Shrek voices to entertain the boy. The boy's not pleased. Nor are we. Switch over to an Italian restaurant, of course. This is Pistachio. He's a waiter.
I wrote shitty waiter. That was my next note.
That's pretty true. He's carrying tons of dishes, tons of plates of spaghetti, correct?
I guess.
It looked like he had something else on his
plate. Looked like there were crabs on several of the plates.
I don't know what it was.
Like whole crabs.
Maybe we're just hungry for crabs. I don't know.
I'd rather have crabs than have watched this movie.
Jesus. Another waiter trips him up, and the spaghetti that he's holding goes flying all over some customers. And he still proceeds to put cheese on their heads. And it's good, it's cheese, it's nice. He's doing that. It's Borat. It's always Borat out of me. He mocks a couple of customers that are from Texas, I guess. And, like, the Texas guy is talking, and he's, like, having some sort of mental defect where he all of a sudden's got to start
He basically has a seizure, and all of a sudden he starts talking
talking like the guy. He's a fucking loon written down. That's what he is. He's an absolute insane person. And he has a lot of voices in his head, is what is said. He can't control the voices, as his father, James Brolin, I never caught his actual name in the movie. He's working there too, kind of like the maitre d'. All right, and some people are leaving out. And I heard them say, "We should have gone to Burger King." It's kind of funny, I guess. And there's another waiter, and this is the guy that tripped him up, of course. And
wasn't his name Rex?
I think so. He goes outside. Pistachio does. I can't believe I'm saying Pistachio for this guy's name, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. And he sees that waiter's making out with his old girl in the alleyway. The girl that said that she had a boyfriend and whatnot. So the guy tries to take... and at this time, it shows his dad outside doing something. And some dudes pull up in a car and swipe him. And they knock out his mom. His mom's a big lady who works in the kitchen, and they use the old chloroform over the mouth and knock her out and take her. Right?
Yep.
Are you all right at this point, or what were you thinking?
My next note was parents kidnapped.
Yep, and his house is ransacked. Or she was taken at the house, I bet, not the restaurant.
I thought she was working downstairs in the restaurant making desserts.
Then why did they go to the house?
But they live upstairs in the restaurant.
Of course, everybody lives upstairs.
Because remember, at the start of the movie, when there was a girl there to see him, he went straight downstairs.
And by this time in the film, Jonathan has already just imploded pretty much with big size and rage, anger.
Completely turned around looking at like the wall instead of the TV.
You're in hell. Okay, so all of a sudden there's a scene straight out of The Exorcist of the old man.
I wanted to murder you.
Yeah, you did. You wanted blood.
There will be blood.
It's a good movie. So there's a scene like The Exorcist where the old man gets out of the cab and is standing up in front of the light in the house in the fog. And there's the music that plays. And there's several moments where it's obviously trying to, take on these other movies. One in which you particularly enjoyed, so that's actually a good thing. And it's his grandfather. And he's here, as he opens up the door, he's here to help Pistachio find his parents.
Yep.
And it's his grandfather. His grandfather's, they're eating at a table, and all of a sudden he looks around, his grandfather's gone. He goes to try to find him. He finds a maid, a female maid, and starts talking to her. And then, of course, the voice of the grandfather comes out of the maid. The grandfather's the maid.
He's a master of disguise.
He's in disguise. That's right. That's good. And I've got written here, Pistachio disguise. I don't know why I wrote that, but I don't know. So, throughout history, he starts telling them that they use the power of disguise to help people, such as stopping thieves as masquerading as statues. And Abraham Lincoln was not a good speaker and needed to be elected. So what did they do? Do you remember?
They tagged out like a tag team.
Yep, he was dressed as Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
One of his forefathers, one of his ancestors.
Right.
And then what?
Did some sort of a dance on stage.
Yeah, there was some rowdying up the crowd, which was incredible. And this is an incredible scene. I mean, this is a turd moment.
I've seriously blocked that out of my mind. Yeah, I don't even remember the song they played.
This is a turd. It was some like, come on, let's do this. Do, 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 do. Like, one of these things. Yeah, it was really, really bad. So the grandfather gives him a secret book. Okay? He says that it's the secret book of disguisey. It's got it written on top of it, all nice. He opens it up. It's a fucking pop-up book like a kid would have. Incredible. They go up into the attic. This is the fucking nicest attic I've ever seen in my life. It's really well done. I mean, lots of time and effort were spent on this attic. They find a metal ball that's got some adornments on it and stuff. It's got a handle that pops up. It looks crazy, actually. It pushes a button on it or something. And it starts like a mousetrap-like contraption of like burning a wire and a mouse running over. You know what I mean? It was like one of these scenes of little tiny... What is that called, really?
It's like they call them Rube Goldberg machines.
There you go. And it opens up a wall.
Rube Goldberg.
It opens up a wall in the attic. The wall like splits apart. Very poorly done. And it's like a super hideout with lights and stuff and a table and like a place to get like, your outfits on and makeup and stuff like that. So again, this is the room hidden by his father for the skill of disguise. Right?
Okay.
There's a montage with him putting on fake teeth, glasses, and faces.
I called this disguise training.
Well, that's about right.
So that's all I had there.
I've got hijinks, is what I've got written. And every once in a while in this movie, there's just like a very small, like 4, 5, or 12 second long scene that plays no part in the movie. It's just complete hijinks.
What's the age group for this movie, you think? What was the target group?
I have no clue. You mean just what I think?
Yeah. Like 7, 8, you think?
Yeah, something like that.
Probably 7-year-olds?
I guess. Yeah, 8 to 10 maybe. 6 to 10. 6 to 10 is what I'm going with. He gets in a fat suit. It's a thing where you pull a cord and it blows you up big, right? His grandfather does it. He, of course, rips the cord and it makes him float around the room in this big suit because apparently it doesn't stop once you.
Because that's what would happen.
Yes, the more you pull the cord, the more it goes. At school, shows like a Catholic school. He's dressed up like a Catholic girl. He's hideous to look at. I believe we both agreed on that. And it shows James Brolin tied up. Brett Spiner says that he was in prison for 20 years after Bo Derek put him in jail, pretty much.
Yep.
And he wants James to become the master in disguise and steal treasures from all over the world as this master in disguise, subsequently. Switch back to Pistachio. He's now dressed as a man from India.
This is where I put racist costumes.
It's a very, very much a caricature of a snake charmer from India.
Does he do a form of blackface here, Brandon?
Brownish face. It's inappropriate. And the guy, his grandfather keeps on saying for him to become another person. He keeps saying it over and over again.
He might as well have been saying, be more racist. Be more racist. Be more stereotypically racist.
Yeah. He uses Kenny G music with a flute to tame the cobra.
And then he makes out with it.
Yeah, he then makes out with it, and I believe...
understand what I'm saying, people. He makes out with a cobra.
Yes, and he also dines the cobra on slices of cheese.
Possibly Kraft.
Kraft cheese dangling from its head as he...
These things happen.
Yes. He learns to bitch slap a fighting slapping dummy.
I didn't write any of this down.
It's a wooden blocked dummy that moves around real quick with its hands, and he's teaching him the art of the fight. And it's slapping. It's slapping him, and he's trying to slap it back. Now, at this time, the great Olympic runner Michael Johnson is in the film. Of course, it's not Michael Johnson. It's James Brolin. He's in disguise. He's a master of it. He takes the Constitution from some guards and gives it to Devlin, and tells him and shows him a video of his wife, obviously Pistachio's mother. She's eating caramel popcorn, and it's got some sort of drug in it that makes her think that she's in her kitchen cooking and that everything's fine. And like there was like fire on her stove that he activated that could have burned her. Mm-hmm. It's weird. It's some sort of mind control. Some sort of ray.
I think basically she still thought she was at home cooking.
Right.
And he was basically trying to say, at any moment I could trigger something in that room that could kill her, so you're going to keep doing what I say.
Right.
At this point,
the fire.
At this point, I want to make it clear that I can already see the end of my notes on my phone.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, Devlin has a gas problem because he always laughs, and at the end of his laugh, he farts.
There's a fart.
There's his gag.
Laugh.
There's his gag.
And it's an ongoing gag.
Yes.
So, movies with farts in them are bad enough. This is an ongoing fart joke.
Yep. Which, in another movie, I would entertain it. That would entertain it.
How about the Phantom Menace? Would you entertain it there?
No.
Oh, okay.
So now, for some reason, the grandfather and Pistachio are looking for an assistant for Pistachio.
Yeah. The Master of Disguise needs an assistant.
Yep, and so it's that scene where everybody's standing in front of them. They're standing at a table, much like an audition for like a movie or some trash like that. And every time the person just says one word, nope, you're out, get out, get out, get out. It just shows them crossing off the list, crossing off the list, crossing off the list. Nobody makes it.
50 people later.
Outside, there's a crash. Pistachio runs and see what it is. It's that boy from earlier in the film. And his mother runs up, and his mother is Jennifer Esposito, who is easy on the eyes and was supposed to be the love interest in the movie. And she's going to interview for the job as well. Okay. As the boy had said something to her about it. Grandfather says that he's now level 1.5 because he keeps on telling him, like, you're level 1, now you're level 1.5 of a master of disguise artist. And of course, she gets the job.
She's Jennifer Esposito.
Yes, and they look at her body and say some stuff about her butt, I believe.
Yeah, they say it's too small.
Yeah, there's some stuff like that. Child's movie.
Which is why I kind of didn't think it was a child's movie.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of focus on women's asses.
He likes big butts.
Well, I cannot lie.
No, of course not. But he can disguise himself about it, though. He's a master of it. Or he's going to be. He hasn't turned there yet.
He's only 1.5.
I've got written here, gives him his nest in a box.
Yeah. Now, the nest, people, is...
briefcase.
Well, yeah, but the nest, remember, is what his father had up in the attic.
That's right.
The secret area. Like, it's where the Master of Disguise goes to basically... It's like his lair.
Yeah.
It's his bat cave, if you will.
Yes.
So, yeah, he has now a nest in a box, which is essentially a suitcase, literally with nest in a box written on it.
And inside is probably like a magician's disguise. Disguising stuff. And he also gives him the disguisey ball of knowledge.
Yep.
It's a little metal ball, and he says only use it when you're in dire straits. A good man.
Yeah.
So they go to the alley, him and Jennifer, which is interesting because her name is Jennifer in real life and in the movie, probably for simplicity.
Was it? I didn't even catch that.
Yes. They go to the alley. She's like, well, let's go to the alley and see, if there's any clues there. And, I mean, obviously there's some particulars we're not hitting because this is a fast one. They find a cigar with a turtle on it, and it's a cigar that's made at the Turtle Club. I guess it's a popular soiree, popular club of this fake city.
It's a club for the highfalutin.
Yes. And so now at the Turtle Club, this was a moment where I really zoned in on Jonathan to see his reaction.
Now, this is another one of these clubs where it's like, I can't believe these people are here. Oh, there's a lot of that.
I need more boiled goose. Bring me the boiled goose and brandy sauce.
Oh, man, that's a throwback to our Avengers podcast. You
Very
should listen
good.
to it.
I do like that.
Good podcast, terrible film.
Oh, my word. What's going on there?
I swell. For the I swell.
Yeah. So how does he come into the film? Has he come into the Turtle Club? Because she comes in, and now he comes in. Now this place is jumping. I don't know if you noticed that. It's got tons of people in it.
Tons of people. This club's not as exclusive as I was led to believe.
No. Because I looked over at Jonathan because I knew it was coming. Because I'd seen this scene before. Okay. So I looked at Jonathan. And I was like, I'm ready for him to see this.
I believe my exact phrasing was, "Fuck."
Yeah. I think you might have punched the couch too.
Yeah, he comes in. He's in a whole all green suit. It's got a collar. It looks like he went to the Big and Tall store.
Super Big and Tall.
Yeah, and he's got a collar for somebody who has a neck that's roughly 50 inches. Mm-hmm. His head is coming up out of it. He's bald headed. He's done some sort of disguise to his lip to make it more turtle-like.
Yep.
He has a turtle shell on his back, essentially. He's in a fat suit.
He's like a turtle cartoon character.
It's terrible.
So you didn't like it?
No.
Oh, it's very, very bad. It's very much again, this is probably your second turd moment of the movie when he's in this turtle suit. It is horrible. All his motions, movements, everything about it. He's constantly moving the body of the turtle suit around, and his head stays still, or his head moves without moving the turtle. It's a joke. So they go and talk to the guy who makes the cigars. He's a character actor that you've seen in many movies.
He's played by Eric Avery.
And he's a cool guy.
I've met him at DragonCon one year.
Oh, good. He says that he made it for a private collection because they inquire on the cigar. Mm-hmm. The private collection of Devlin Bowman. So that works. There's a connection right there.
Yeah.
They're about to leave, and they get some static from guys because she's obviously very attractive. He's a huge turtle. and some guys give him.
Just think about what you said. It's ludicrous. I know. It's completely ludicrous. Yeah. He's a big turtle.
Yeah. And she
hate my life.
Yeah, gives them some static, and of course, they're throwing, hey, why you with this guy, And I remarked that the guy on the left is the bad guy from Encino Man, which was enjoyable to me because I enjoy Encino Man. Subsequently, there's a bit of a fight that happens. He ducks inside his shell. He pops up. He bites the man's nose off his face. There, it's smooth like a Ken doll, in his face.
It's not the open nasal cavity like you saw in Nothing But Trouble.
Yes, this is just smooth.
Yeah, just smooth.
Bad CGI.
Yeah,
and his nose is then spit back on his face, and it sticks. All right. Weird. And so yeah.
What happened when the penguin bit somebody's nose?
Blood.
In
Extreme blood. Lots of blood.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
He starts spinning on the ground. All of a sudden, it just shows him spinning on his back on the ground. No reason. And then
it dissolves out to a different scene.
It does that lots of times where all of a sudden he's just doing something completely bonkers and it just zones out.
There's several scenes in the movie that don't make any sense.
Much like Jesse Ventura all of a sudden showing up,
stealing
the Liberty Bell.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura has traded action figures of himself, collectibles. They're not toys. They're collectibles. Of course. For the Liberty Bell. It's
really James Brolin,
again.
Pistachio's dad.
Yeah.
In the limo, Devlin farts.
Yep.
Yep, that's pretty good.
And,
Jennifer Esposito, I wrote many times. She introduces her boyfriend the next day to Pistachio. The minute she turns away, he grabs up Pistachio, says pretty much, stay away from my girl. Her boy comes by, and he's really an asshole to the boy. Okay? And they're going to fight. So what music is needed when you're about to fight?
Eye of the Tiger.
By Survivor. That's correct. Ding, ding. You got it, Jonathan. But whenever they're about to fight, she shows up. And, of course, now her boyfriend's very nice and is very nice to the boy. And she remarks about how great he is with kids.
Right.
So you see that he's not that great. And she remarks that there's an Antiques Roadshow. This is 2002. That's going to be showing up tomorrow. Maybe Devlin will be there. It's antiques.
He likes antiques. He likes old things.
Yeah, and I'm like, Constitution.
That qualifies as an antique.
Liberty Bell. Random shit from people bringing to Antiques Roadshow. Yeah, he's going to be there. And he is, of course, for the plot. And so Pistachio is dressed as an old woman. Gimme Num Num is her name.
She looks like the church lady.
She's terrible. She's a horrible character, once again, that he's done. And within literally a minute, less than a minute, 30 seconds of them showing them at the Antiques Roadshow, showing Gimme Num Num, I want to say that as much as I can, Devlin just walks up right beside him.
Yeah, walks right up to see what they've brought to the Antiques Roadshow.
We got to really move this plot. Let's go. That's what they do. He invites Esposito to some sort of
at this
soiree,
point,
right?
At this point, the audience feels like they've been in the theater for, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and
they've camped out.
They understand that people want to get out of this movie.
But it's actually probably defeating to the audience because they think it's moving at a breakneck speed, but they look at their watch and they're quickly dealt with reality of how long they've been sitting here. So Devlin invites her, of course, because she's a pretty thing, and to some sort of, I got written here several times in a row, something.
Party at his house.
Yeah, party at his house. Okay. So they need for him, they decide later on that Pistachio needs to sneak into the mansion and do something. Not sure. They're trying to find out if they know where his parents are.
Yeah. What it is Jennifer has to get into the house. She is like, I don't remember anything in the job description about me having to do something like this.
She's just
so the dog, titled The Cuteness. That's his dog.
That's his dog.
Opens the flip book, the pop-up book, to a page with Universal Monsters on it, and all of a sudden a sun comes out of it, and it says sometimes assistants to the Master 1.5 have to do things they don't want to do, basically. Yep. So it was a very convenient passage that the dog knew straight where it was.
Magic. It's magic.
So she goes into the house, and what she's trying to find out is what's he been doing with his dad.
Right.
Why does this guy want his father?
And Dana, Pistachio goes there. He didn't need to go there. She was going to be able to do it all her own, if you think about it.
I guess.
He dresses as somebody that's popular in popular culture and movie.
Al Pacino.
In?
Hooah! He dresses as Scarface. Tony Montoya.
Yeah, that's it. In Scarface, and that's another one of his characters that he's trying to do. She goes inside the house because she's got to take a squirt, and she's got to take something, maybe info on her parents, location of the parents. And as he's outside doing stupidity, being Scarface Tony, he starts dancing to Gloria Estefan, which you know what I would think of whenever I hear her, but we won't go to that dark place.
She murdered people.
Yes. Goons give chase to him, and they all of a sudden find a pond with somebody that you enjoy.
Yep, he's sitting in a rowboat called the Orca.
Oh.
And he's now doing a character popularized by a man by the name of Robert Shaw called Quint from Jaws. This was the best part of the film for me.
I wonder who will be playing Quint in the remakes.
I don't know what you're talking about. But this was the best part of the film for me.
Because you enjoyed his impersonation of Quint.
It was actually pretty good. Yep. It's a shame that the movie's still terrible. Mm-hmm. Nothing could save this film.
No.
Nothing.
I can see the end of my notes.
Good. Just get there. Come on. Get through it.
Okay, so
because all I wrote was Quint impression.
Right. Well,
that's all I wrote.
When he was Tony, his body was completely covered in hair, and he forgot for some reason, possibly the plot, to take off the huge hair that was on his arm.
He's not a master of disguise yet.
That's
He's
true.
only a 1.5.
That's true.
So mistakes are going to be made.
Yep. So they give chase to him, and now one of them steps in a cow pie between two cows.
Betwixt.
Yes, correct. And they give chase. They say, "Oh, let's get out of here. I stepped in cow shit." Come to find out, the cow shit was his face. He was master of disguise,
wearing a mask,
as a whole bodysuit as grass,
a ghillie suit,
and a big cow shit on his face. That's what the movie is. And so they give chase to him all the way. They see him, which I was like, dude,
why'd you stand up so soon?
Just lay low. Yeah, let them walk away from.
Wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, just wait a little while. Let them get away from sight, and then you can take off. So they chase him all the way back to the set. That is the city. And
everybody in America that's been to Universal Studios has run down this back lot where they shot the film.
And you're usually like in some sort of like tram, like one of those little like push things. Okay.
But I guarantee you've run down the street that they were running down.
Oh yeah. So he shows up back at the mansion.
Yep.
And I've got written here he's some sort of German fop.
I wrote Danish tax collector. That's what I wrote.
Actually, his name is because luckily Wikipedia has a list of all his disguises.
Oh, that is lucky.
Yeah, Constable Mueller of the Bavarian Tax Authority.
Okay.
And he's looking for Jennifer.
Yep.
Because of some summer she spent in some Dusseldorf, some crazy name of some German town.
Yeah.
She owes taxes.
I think it was called Cinnamon Roll Town.
Yeah, something goofy.
Something stupid.
Well, she's now with Devlin. She drops her purse, and for some reason he wants to look in it, which is bizarre to me.
I think he knows that she's been sneaking around the house.
Yeah, because
he won't leave her alone at this point. He keeps saying, "Come with me, come with me."
A goon shows up right when he's about to look in the purse and whispers to Devlin, and they both. He's like, "Come with me." They go downstairs.
Now, in the purse, by the way, she had found pictures of his father disguised as famous people: Robin Williams, the very famous Ellen Cleghorn.
Really trying to throw in their SNL buddy in that, aren't they?
So yeah, he finds pictures of him disguised as various people, or that's what she has stuffed into her purse,
right?
That he would have found.
Okay.
Saved by the goon, though.
Agreed. Saved by the goon. They go back downstairs. Pistachio is changed again.
Yep.
Into some British fop with a cane.
His name was Suave.
Yeah, it's Terry Suave.
Terry Suave.
And
you might guess he was very smooth.
Very smooth. As they go to the entrance of the mansion, he takes her out through some fast talk of Devlin, but he's like, "Follow them," is what he says. That's what Devlin says to his goons. Follow them. All right. So, at a restaurant bar, they're just sitting there, Pistachio and Jennifer, and he kind of bumps into her boyfriend, who's with his old big-bootied girl.
Yep, Rex and Angel are together.
Yep. There's a fight with slaps because he can't be beat now. Once he says, "Who's the daddy?" it drops down the skill of the boyfriend. And so now his slaps are reigning true on this boyfriend. Of course, he beats his ass. His girlfriend wants to go back with him. He's like, no, I've got this girl now. And so whenever they give you the nah, you come back with them with the yes. That's what he did. So he goes with Jennifer instead of his old girl. And now it shows Jennifer Simpson. Remember her?
Jessica Simpson.
Jessica. Sorry, it's because I kept on writing Jennifer so much. Jessica Simpson. I remember her, 2002.
Yep.
She gives her CD.
Yeah,
what a plug. What a plug.
She's traded her album.
Yeah. Her CD to a guard so that she can get the Moonlander.
Yeah, the lunar module from the moon.
Apollo
11.
And when they open up the car door to the limo or whatever they're in, of course, it's her song playing in there. So, yeah. All right. A little bit of a thing. So, It switches over. Of course, that's James Brolin.
Yeah.
It's the same old deal.
He's in disguise. He is a master of disguise.
Yes, and he's the one that does most of these amazing celebrity lookalikes. And, of course, there's a fart, but I didn't write it. Jennifer and Pistachio are smooch on the sidewalk as she finally realizes that she's got the feelies for him for some reason.
Yeah. Well, she was warned.
Yeah.
Can you control your feelings and not fall in love with the master of disguise?
And as he's walking away and she's going to her house, the car pulls up to kidnap her.
Yeah, instantly.
And it's like real instantly. Like, that doesn't even show it, and he just is like, she's been stolen. She's been taken from me.
The budget was...
Yeah, the budget was not there.
Gone.
So he's instantly out of ideas, so he has to use the ball.
Yep.
To talk to his grandfather appears like up in the heavens or some shit, like Simba.
It's a hologram.
It's a pre-recorded hologram, is what he says.
Yep.
And like her boy sees the hologram and sees him talking to this ball, and he runs up and says something that he says might work. I don't know. It was weird. It switches over to Devlin. He's talking to Kevin Nealon. There's another SNL alumni.
Yep.
And Kevin Nealon is with the black market eBay, is what it's called.
Yep.
And Devlin is showing him all the stuff they have stolen.
I have 2 sentences left in my notes at this point.
Okay. Devlin shows him a mask of himself. He says that he will glue it onto James Brolin's face and push him off a cliff.
Perfect crime.
Not really.
Well, he said it was.
It's not.
It's the perfect crime. It was said.
Okay.
Right.
Genes, maybe? I don't know. So there's a pie. There's a cherry pie that's offered to Devlin.
Yeah.
He foo-foos it.
Yeah. The actor playing the chef that brought in the cherry pie won a part in the film by drinking Mountain Dew, I think.
Yeah, he got it off a cap of
a cap of Mountain Dew. You win.
Yeah. One extra roll on Master of the Universe. Of the Universe. Jesus. Too many masters.
Except he didn't win.
No, he didn't. Well, good thing he didn't have that pie because the pie was actually pistachio.
Yep.
He comes up
He's
out of the
the cherry
pie.
filling.
He's the cherry filling. He comes up out of the pie. He's in a complete cherry bodysuit. And he knocks some goons out by throwing fast cherries at them.
Yep.
Pow, 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 pow. Hits one guy in the forehead. Looks like he's been shot with a gun or something in the head. And Devlin uncovers Pistachio as one of his goons because he didn't switch out his cherry foot.
Once again, he's not a true master
His
yet.
feet, yeah.
So he's
like,
messed
dude,
up.
Can you take off the one outfit before you get in the other?
Yep.
So he's got cherry feet. Devlin all of a sudden sends in a huge amount of ninjas, blue ninjas, come pouring into the room.
Yep.
And people are watching this all over the internet from different parts of the world.
Yeah, I guess
It's a live stream. It's a live stream.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm supposed to be expected to believe that these Mongolians in a tent,
are going to buy
in the middle of China. We're going to buy like the lunar lander.
Yeah,
like these guys like living across the world, like that have no money clearly.
So Pistachio starts slap fighting these ninjas and beating their ass. They haul tail. They get the hell out of there once they see his skills. They're scared of his skills, slap skills.
Yeah.
His mama all of a sudden is attacked in her kitchen, but she dispatches it as it comes up out of was it flour and dough like stuff? Hands come up. She dispatches it. She looks in the camera and says, "No more caramel corn."
Caramel popcorn.
Caramel popcorn, yeah. She's not been eating more of that popcorn.
Obviously, that's what was drugging her.
Yep, that's what the drugs were. Devlin takes off running, farting as he goes.
Yep.
And he unveils, though, before he leaves, that James Brolin, Pistachio's father, is in a glass case in a seat, and he looks just like Devlin. Okay? So now you've got father versus son, because he's obviously done something to his mind to make him think that he is Devlin Bowman.
He's brainwashed him.
Yep. They fight on top of the lunar lander.
Lunar lander.
Yep. And Pistachio takes off his underwear, rips it from the side straight up. I don't know how you do that.
It's a hell of a wedgie.
Yep. He puts it in on top of his head because when he was a child, he used to wear underwear on his head to impersonate people.
By the way, when we say when he was a child, we mean at the start of the film when he's first introduced as an adult. He's still doing this.
Correct. So,
okay, that's my last note.
All right. Well, he puts it on his head to remind his dad of who it is, and of course, it works. James Brolin is back. My son.
Yep.
So, in the last battle, it's against him and his dad, and then underwear on head, defeated. But then it shows in Costa Rica what's going on with Devlin. He escapes, so something must be happening with him. He's lounging by the pool. Well, all of a sudden, George W. Bush, the president at the time, he shows up, and of course, Dana Carvey he does the George W. Bush impersonation. So he shows up, and Devlin wants to have a picture with him. George W. Bush proceeds to beat his ass, and he takes back the Constitution. I guess Devlin wasn't able to sell it. He took it with him, and he gets it back. He thinks that his henchmen are going to help him, but his henchmen are actually James Brolin and his grandfather.
Yeah.
So his dad and his grandfather. And it is, in essence, the end of the movie, but it's really not. We've got a lot more movie to go, apparently, because it made us sit through more stuff. It says that Pistachio, his grandfather's voice says that Pistachio married Jennifer. Okay, whatever. I mean, whatever. And then during the whole credits, there's a bunch of silly characters and outtakes. Characters that didn't make it in the film. It looks
scenes
like
that didn't make it in the film.
Scenes that make it in the film. Just keeps on going, and outtakes of them messing up.
Fuck all that. Let's get to the post-credits. Because this blew my mind.
Yeah, at the end of the credits, he's messing around with the dummy, the slap dummy. And he's knocking on it and turning around, and all of a sudden he opens up the back, and there's a little person inside who's bald, but he looks like Mario.
Dressed like Mario.
And the little guy starts chasing him. He starts trying to get him, like kind of going back around the table. Well, he tries to finally talk to him, and then the little guy just takes off, and he starts chasing him through the streets of this fake city.
Now, this is all post-credits, people. How long would you say that scene was? 3 minutes?
Yeah, probably so.
So that's a 3-minute post scene that we just had.
Yep.
All right.
And there's slapping involved and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we think it's over.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it shows the cuteness, his dog. And I didn't catch it, but Wikipedia says that it reveals that the dog was actually his grandfather.
In disguise.
Yeah, the cuteness reveals himself to have been Pistachio's grandfather all along. No clue.
All right. Then it fades down to black.
Yep.
Comes back up.
Yep.
Still post-credits, people. We're probably hitting about the 4.5 minute mark now.
Yes, we are.
It's Dana Carvey and the little person sitting drinking coffee together talking. Just talking. Not in character. They're just, I think, right?
I have no idea.
Because Dana Carvey at that point says, "Why are you still here? The movie's over." It's over. He's like, "Bye-bye." And it fades down to black. And as it's in black, the little person...
Still talking.
You still hear them talking. And he says, "Well, I want to say goodbye." So Dana Carvey says, "Okay, fade back up." So they fade up. They both say goodbye. This is the longest post-credits I've ever had to sit through, and nothing is funny in it.
You're correct.
And then finally the movie ends.
So the list of Pistachio disguises total is the inflatable suit, the robot, Prince Lollygama from the Ringy Dingy Heights.
That's the racist Indian character.
Yep. Turtle Guy. It's Gaming Num Nums, is what it's got written here. Mr. Peru. That's Tony Montana. Yep. Quint from Jaws. A patch of grass with fake cow pie as a helmet. Constable Mueller of the Bavarian Tax Authority.
Terry Swaff.
Yep, Terry Swaff. Cherry Pie Man. Chicken Guy. George W. Bush. Mayor Maynot. These are in credits deleted scenes. Bob Ross. Painting. A little painting. A vampire. Charlie McCarthy with an Edgar Bergen mannequin. Groucho Marx. Captain America. Never saw that. Did you? It says deleted scene, so we'll need to buy the Blu-ray or something to see that.
Fuck you.
Gluteus Maximus from Gladiator, Forrest Gump, and a caveman who gets eaten by a dinosaur.
T-Rex.
Yeah, T-Rex in the credits.
How much money do you think they spent on that? Just that scene alone, and then they didn't use it in the movie?
I don't know, dude. I have no clue. To obtain the PG certificate, 7 seconds of material. 7 seconds of material was cut. The reason being dangerous series of headbutts. It was a dangerous series of headbutts. Like I said, we talked about the box office. It has a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes. The consensus reading is an ill-conceived attempt at humor. Conceived attempt to utilize Dana Carvey's talents of mimicry. The Master of Disguise is an irritating, witless farce weighed down by sophomoric gags. And like we said, I told you, Mystery Science Theater 3000 host Michael J. Nelson named the film the third worst comedy ever made. We can only imagine what the other two are. And get this, Razzies. You ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
One Razzie it was nominated for.
What?
Guess who it is?
Dana Carvey as the turtle.
Bo Derek cameo.
That's the only Razzie he got?
It got nominated for.
So it won that one.
It earned a nomination for Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Supporting Actress with Bo Derek. They singled her out of the movie, but lost to Madonna for Die Another Day.
To be fair, okay, they probably turned the movie off after that opening scene.
Probably so.
So that's all they saw.
That was it. So, Jonathan, what do you think about The Master of Disguise?
It's one of the worst films we've ever watched. One of the worst.
Well, it is what it says at the very top of the of Wikipedia. It says, despite being a box office success with $44 million, the film has been considered to be one of the worst films of all time.
I would agree. Circle gets the square.
Jim J. Bullock for the block.
I mean, the movie was complete shit. Like, I've never been so angry about having to watch a film.
Yeah, you were angry.
I mean, mad. Yeah. Just mad, man.
Real mad.
It was real bad film. You can't say enough. All it was fucking self-indulgent shit from Dana Carvey because he thinks he's funny. So he wrote himself a film like I do impressions on Saturday Night Live. I'll make a whole fucking movie about it. Yeah. But it won't have a plot and it won't be good and it won't be anything. It's just terrible. Just a terrible film. And once again, I wish death on Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with this.
Well,
you know what? I don't wish Adam Sandler was dead, but I still think the world's better off without him. Ever existing.
Like an alternate dimension where he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
We probably have fixed a lot of the problems in the world.
I'll equate it to Joaquin Phoenix, okay?
Ooh.
Here we go.
I remember this.
The wrong Adam Sandler made it to our universe.
That's right.
That's what it is.
There's one that's still funny.
Somewhere there's one that's nothing but hits coming out.
He's working on Happy Gilmore 4.
Yeah. Well, we got the bum Adam Sandler in our universe.
What's his trainer's name in Happy Gilmore? Chubb's Revenge. Happy Gilmore 4, Chubb's Revenge. So yeah, wow.
But I got his eye.
So yeah, the movie's terrible. Do you think this is the worst movie that we've done?
It's right up there, dude.
I think it is.
I mean, it's right
is it
there.
Worse than what? Kind of how do they? Not the worst movies that we hate. Obviously, I mean, this is the Master of Disguise, some kid movie, family film or whatever. What?
Top 3 worst movies that we've watched, and I'm saying unbearable to watch.
Yeah, difficult to watch.
This
number 1.
I'm not saying this is the order there.
Okay.
This is just me thinking back. Top 3 difficult to watch. Okay, this Garbage Pail Kids.
Leonard Part 6.
Fuck, I forgot about Leonard Part 6.
No, Leonard Part 6 is terrible.
I was going to throw the Avengers in there.
Those are just top.
The Avengers is bad to watch too, though, man. It's almost unbearable.
It's bad. Those 3 there are they're not only bad, but they are absurd. They have extreme absurdities in them, and just ugly fucking films. You know what I mean? Just I hate them. All 3 of those terrible.
You're right. I forgot. I mean,
I'm going to go ahead and say I think this is the worst movie that we've done.
Worse than Leonard Part 6 or Garbage Pail Kids?
Yes, because in Leonard Part 6. There was some sort of possible excitement about him getting geared up, going in there, fighting. There was wackiness and zaniness with the meat, the guy's head blowing up, him riding the ostrich. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all kind of absurdly berserk. Garbage Pail Kids, it was just a complete horror show. Freak after freak after freak. The Garbage Pail Kid, this terrible woman and kid that's using these freaks as slave labor. This poor boy that's trying to fight back against them. What was his name? The shit kid. What was his name? Juicy, the hero of the film. The Juicy is the unsung hero of the film. You know what I'm saying? But this is just unbelievable.
I thought you were talking about Dodger.
Extremely stupid movie. This is a very stupid movie. Not funny at all. Couple little things there that you might be like, okay, they're making a joke of that, or that music's coming in from that movie, or this scene looks like that movie. And I guess that's supposed to be entertaining, but I think what it is when he was on Saturday Night Live, he was surrounded by writers. He probably fed off a lot of them, and they used him in a lot of stuff. And he wrote some stuff too. But this was the chains are off of him. The shackles of SNL have been unleashed in this monster.
I can tell you exactly where it went wrong.
Let's hear it.
Executive producer Adam Sandler should have been executive producer Lorne Michaels.
Correct.
Because he would have went, no, we're not doing that. This is ridiculous. because that's what he does. That's his whole job on Saturday Night Live is to rein people in, you know. And he would have went, I'm not producing that.
I don't know why.
I wonder if they asked him to produce it.
Could be. He's like, no, that's shit. Dana Carvey, why do you come out with your movie try to do a movie career, and this is the fucking type of movie you're going to make? A family stupidity movie like this? I don't know. I mean, I thought that, he would come out with a movie that, I don't know, I liked his TV show that he had, the Dana Carvey show. It had some funny gags in it.
I don't recall.
But, he's done some good stuff, but this is dreadful. This is definitely one of the worst. And
I'll never forgive you for it. That's for sure.
No, and you'll probably never forgive me for Ballistic X vs. Sever when we finally watch that, which has got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
You're never going to see it. You're never going to have it.
Yeah, we're going to find it. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll rent it if we have to. You have to do it for Getaway Podcast. So that's it. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible fucking film. It is on Netflix if you want to watch it. If you hate yourself.
I don't recommend it.
No, I do not. And I don't recommend this for kids at all. There's nothing cute, cutesy, neat, funny, hilarious for them at all.
Would you watch this with your daughter?
No. At the end of the movie, there's a scene where they pretty much, it's one of the bonus scenes where he's pretty much like, has a conniption fit over all these women that have huge asses. You
know what it was? It was the scene from Austin Powers with the fembots.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, he was like, whoa. And he sees all these huge, huge asses. Terribly fake looking asses, too, that. But, terrible film. Terrible film.
I would call them badonkadonks.
I agree.
That's what they were.
I do think this is... If somebody sat me down right now and said, okay, you've got to watch Garbage Pail Kids, Leonard Part 6, or The Master of Disguise...
I would take Garbage Pail Kids.
I probably would take Garbage Pail Kids, and if I have to, I'd do Leonard Part 6. But I'd probably take Garbage Pail Kids just to...
out of the
Tangerine's in it.
Yeah. Out of the three, Tangerine's the easiest on the eyes.
Yeah.
And it probably has the least amount of boredom in the film.
And it's probably a longer film than this, too, though.
I think Garbage Pail Kids was like...
90 minutes, maybe?
Yeah.
Something around there. 89, maybe. Try to sneak in under that level. So what are we doing next week, Jonathan?
I don't know yet. We'll see.
I know what we're doing in 2 weeks.
What's that?
Jack and Jill.
You'll never find that either, so I'm not worried about that.
You never know. I might look and find it somewhere.
You're not going to find it.
I found this piece of shit.
Do we have anything else for the back end?
No.
We're done?
No, we're done.
Tomorrow's Night of Champions for wrestling.
Oh.
Sting will be wrestling for the World Championship.
Against?
Seth Rollins.
And you think he's going to win?
I don't know, man. I hope he does. I mean, this will only be the second time he's wrestled in WWE, and he already lost once. So can they really make him lose twice? I mean,
does people remember that?
I mean, yeah. People, yeah. I mean, Sting being back, being in WWE is a huge deal.
But they remember that he lost.
Oh, yeah. Because, he lost at WrestleMania.
When was that?
March.
Oh, okay. So it was recent.
Yeah, March of this year.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the only time he's wrestled. So, I mean, yeah, I really hope that they let him win. I don't want him to lose, but we'll see.
Well,
whatever. By the way, don't send me any text or spoilers, please, because I have to work tomorrow night. So
you're talking to me?
Yes.
Oh.
Because occasionally you'll see something on Twitter, and then you'll be like, "I love that John Cena."
I don't recall any of that.
So don't send me any spoilers because I will be working tomorrow night, but I will try to catch it after I get off work.
All right. Well, hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah.
And whenever you say that, hopefully they'll let him be. He's got to fight better than Seth Rollins, and he'll win. That's all he has to do.
Right.
Beat up Seth Rollins.
Right.
And you win.
Yeah.
So really, this is coming down to a battle of skill.
Okay.
Of wrestling, prowess, and or skill.
Yeah, a 55-year-old versus roughly a probably 29-year-old. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey, it worked for the alien, Hopkins, B-Hop.
Fucking B-Hop is a monster.
What do you think about 400,000 pay-per-views?
For Mayweather?
And you know that Berto blamed it on Mayweather. I'm like, Berto, you're a bit to blame too.
Well, yeah,
you're Andre Berto.
You're a terrible boxer.
Yeah, I'm like you've lost 4 of your last 7 fights. So yeah.
Well, it was a joke fight anyway.
Yeah, it's a joke fight. But it was funny that he 400.
Did he get knocked out?
No,
of course.
His eyes were very, very busted up though.
I just want to say this because everybody wants to compare Mayweather to Rocky Marciano because now they're the only two people in history. The only two people in history now to be 49-0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's look up Mayweather real quick, just to clear this up for anybody who may. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of problem typing here. Mayweather's record, okay, is 49 wins, 0 losses, 26 wins by KO. 26. Okay? Mm-hmm. Let's compare that to Rocky Marciano. 49 wins, 0 losses. Okay? How many knockouts does he have, Brandon? You ready?
Let's hear it.
43.
Ooh.
He was a little bit more dominant than Mayweather.
I would say so.
So anybody who tries to tell me Mayweather's the greatest boxer ever, I hate you. And you're young and ignorant and stupid.
Well, it comes down to...
By the way, everybody who doesn't agree with me is dumb.
Okay, that's a pretty blanket statement.
Well, I mean, I think I was already making that point, but I just wanted to go ahead and say it.
Well, this is how it's easy to define these. Tell these people who think that Mayweather's the best, say, okay, fine, I understand that he's got a great winning record. I'm going to sit you down in a room. We're going to watch this guy's fight, or all his fights and all his knockouts, or let's let you watch all of Mayweather's fights and see when they start squirming first. Because you better believe that they're going to want to watch that other guy's fights instead of Mayweather's fights.
They're boring.
Yeah, super boring.
He's a big hugger. He loves everyone.
He runs all over the place.
Yeah, he runs. He hugs.
And you know what? That is boxing. He's got the sweet science down, but it doesn't make for entertainment. And sports are supposed to be entertaining for us, not for him in the ring, jawing at the mouth and making faces and doing all his funny stuff. It's supposed to be entertaining for us. That's what sports are about. Am I right? If sports weren't fun, enjoyable for us, they wouldn't have any of the weight that they have.
Fandom. They wouldn't have fandom.
They would have nothing. I mean, yeah. So that's what it comes down to. I'd rather much watch a Mickey Rourke fight, Arturo Gatti, of course, Triple G.
Let me ask you this. Would you rather watch a Mayweather fight? Mm-hmm. Okay. What would you say his most joke of a fight ever was?
Well, I never saw some of his earlier ones, but I mean, this last Berto one's pretty bad.
All right, would you rather watch the Mayweather Berto fight or Master of Disguise again?
Probably Mayweather Berto. Well, that's the thing. Somebody said that Berto gave him the most run for his money. No. In my opinion, the only time, the biggest time I ever saw Mayweather go down,
Sugar Shane Mosley.
Was Sugar Shane Mosley. He really rung his bell really good. And that's where he did a big hug, and he really had to hold on. And I thought that Mosley came the closest to really damaging Mayweather, and if he could have really put it on,
pressed it,
that would have really been good. So, all right, I guess that's it.
All right. Well, I'm Abe Randall on Twitter.
I'm Savage GM on Twitter,
and we are Go Ape Podcast on Twitter.
You can find us on. We got a Blogspot page. We're on iTunes. I don't care anymore about reviews, to be honest with you. Go Ape Podcast Show at gmail.com is our email.
Yep.
Some people have emailed us, one or two. You know what would be cool? If you know of a really bad movie, it's got to be a bad movie that is somewhat mainstream. I mean, we could be here until we're dead. You at 55, like you said.
Right.
Me at probably about 44.
Right.
Doing schlock crap movies that no one's heard of.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a movie that came out with some sort of gusto or name behind it or something.
Well, with that in mind, tune in next week for 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, boy. I don't have a clue what that's going to be like.
I'm just kidding. I'm not watching that.
Ooh.
But yeah, tune in next week where the movie is Undetermined. And we'll watch it then.
Yep. So until then, go Ape.
Go Ape.
Go Ape.
Tear it on.